I think that's it for now.
Okay. And while we have this document open, I'll just call something else out that inside of the document detail page, you have this images tab. In this images tab, it's basically a consolidated list of all of the images in the document in one location. So if you are familiar with the document and you're comfortable kind of interpreting what these images are and how they need to be described, you can quickly kind of streamline your approach in writing the alt description for them. Or if it's like a STEM class and you have like a professor that needs a PDF remediated and you're not the subject matter expert, you know, maybe it's a chemistry document that's got a bunch of crazy chemistry diagrams and you're not a chemistry student, they might provide you that alt text like in an alternative source, maybe a spreadsheet or something. And then you can just kind of quickly copy and paste the alt text to match up with the image. So you can kind of approach it in that way. Another clever way of using this images tab, not that this applies to all documents, but I do see a lot of documents where you have like a logo in the upper left-hand corner of every page. Now that can be very redundant. You don't want to have to remember to artifact it on every page, and you don't want to have to type out the same alt text of the same logo page after page. So what you can do is you can hit this hide all zones checkbox, and you can deselect the all visible checkbox. And what that does is it will artifact all of those images in one click. Now, it's not really like, it doesn't make sense to do that on this document, but hypothetically speaking, if this sort of National Park Service logo, that's this like tiny little logo up here in the right-hand corner, if this were the only image in the document and it repeated across, you know, a 300-page long survey or a 300-page long report, you would be able to eliminate that across all of the pages. And then if you wanted to just keep it like on the first page, you can just reverse the check mark and you can type in your description as needed. If you make changes to your images, just make sure you hit the save button. There's a big save button here, and there's also a save button at the bottom of the list as well. So just remember to do that before you leave the page. And then, of course, you can, you know, if you were to go into the specific document, here I've got my image up here that I left, and then I also just artifacted this one. All of the other images in the document would have been artifacted, but here I left this one specific image, and I can type in my National Park Services logo description right here into my description field, because sometimes you need to have the context of the image within the full page to understand how you want to describe it. So you can, of course, add in your description at the page level. I'm often asked about long description and title. Much like the indentation property, the long description and title, these are HTML only. So don't worry about these unless you're going to export it to HTML. There's really no place for these to go in the PDF world, but it's just, again, we support multiple formats. So even though the majority of our customers are using it for PDF exports exclusively, we still have, you know, quite a few users that do export to HTML that want to have the ability to add long descriptions and titles to their image, but it's only a HTML property.